What up, everybody? It's Jimmy's Journey, on a journey currently, and I got 7 hours to drive. I'm going to #Phoenix today. I don't know if I'm going to make it. It's already in the afternoon. I got an hour gained through the time zone difference, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's all good. The point of this lecture is to talk about what is an ENTP. Okay, so I've told people that they're ENTPs and they don't know the science, and so they don't know what I'm talking about. And so here's my video explaining what an ENTP is. Before I do that, I just want to preview. I got a few videos coming for ENTPs. I don't have them all planned out yet, but I'm going to be talking about, first of all, defining what it means to be an ENTP based on the type grid and what are the characteristics of such an ENTP. In my own words, you can find all this stuff anywhere else on the internet, and I recommend you check out C.S. Joseph, who are the ENTPs, because he'll give you a much better explanation as to what they are than I will. I kind of want to do similar to what he does, just go down the functions, go down the interaction styles and the temperaments, and just some common things about ENTPs. But at the same time, I'm an ENTP as well, and so I want to give it from my perspective. Chase gives his perspective and his own SI experience. Well, I want to give my perspective out of my SI experience, and oh my word, look at this scenery. I'm in New Mexico right now. Oh, I mean, dude, this is fantastic, bro. This is awesome. This is cool. Like, this is beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful drives I've ever done, bro. This is fantastic. Anyways, all right, so I'm going to start with the type grid. So, type grid, ENTP. We are in the starter type grid. By the way, I don't want to steal any of Chase's work. This is all C.S. Joseph. This is all Chase's work. Give credit where credit is due. Go to his channel. He will teach you everything about depth psychology. It's all on his YouTube. And I recommend everybody do that so that they can learn themselves and other people, so that they can have better relationships and better lives, and know their own strengths and weaknesses so they can attack them accordingly, not based on some other type fixing their, you know what I'm saying, personalized attention, okay? So, ENTP, starter type, they're informative, initiating movement. Informative means that we use high volume words to over-explain, explain, give you all the information possible, and to the point of where people are like, okay, but get to the point. What do you want? What's your point? Well, I'm giving you all the information so that you can come to a decision on your own, and you can be direct, and you can make the decision. You can be decisive. Well, that's what it means to be informative. Informative is more of, we don't really choose our role in the conversation. We just kind of inform, and you choose your role in the conversation, and you be more decisive. 6 out of the 8 SI user types are informative. So if someone's an SI user, chances are they're informative. The only direct SI users are the STJs. Okay, well, SI user and informative. Well, we'll get to what SI means in a second. So we're informative. Boom. That means we're in the second or the fourth row of the type grid. And we are initiating. Okay, so a lot of ENTPs and ENFPs, I've noticed, think they're introverts. When I first got into psychology, it was MBTI, like most people, and I took the 16 personalities test, and I came out as an INTP. And I did that for a couple of years until I took it again, and I came in as an ENTP. And, well, oh, did I change from an E to an I? No, guys, no. So, SI inferior is usually the cause of an ENTP or an ENFP thinking that they're an introvert. Because, yeah, we need our safe space, we need our little comfort rut zone to where we can withdraw to if we're uncomfortable. But we're initiating. Initiating means you initiate new points in conversation. You take an active role in the conversation, and you're initiating new points, and you're bringing up new points, and you're asking new questions, and you change topics a lot. And if anyone who's ever talked to me knows that I change the topic about 5 times per topic, and I'm going to do that in this video probably like 50 times, because I'm informative and I'm initiating. Well, if you're informative, initiating movement, or initiating, then you're automatically movement or progression, right? Jimmy's journey, it's all about the journey, not necessarily the outcome. I don't have an outcome with Jimmy's journey. I don't have an end goal. I don't. I'm on a journey, bro. Wherever it gets me, it gets me. And that's kind of the mindset of someone who's progression. Although you have an NI user who might see an NI user who is movement, like a finisher. 3 of the 4 finishers are NI users, and they might see that sniper rifle total grand vision for their own future. But I'm an NE user, so I don't really see my own vision for my own future. It's more of, hey, we're going, let's just go, and we're gonna experience all the experience. So progression, outcome, I don't really talk about outcomes. I don't get to the point. I don't really care about the outcome. I care more about the journey. The means to the outcome is what I'm more concerned about. And so it's movement, it's fast, all about speed, it's all about inactivity, not being inactive. I mean, it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Well, do something. Like for Jimmy's journey, like I didn't know any of the outcomes of Jimmy's journey. I didn't know how to make a van. I didn't know how to do this or that, but I just did it. Like I was like, okay, I need a bed, because hashtag van life, bed, SI comfort, right? And so I need a bed, so let me make a bed. Oh, what else do I need? I need a sink. All right, I don't know how to make a sink. I've never made a sink before. Well, a sink, you need these components, blah, 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 blah. All right, and I just went and bought a sink. I bought a faucet. I bought hoses, all that good stuff. And I didn't plan any of it out. Progression people don't really plan things out. They just kind of go, and then it's more of a trial and error approach. Whereas an outcome person, it's all about, I'm not going to take action until I know the outcome. I need to know that the outcome is going to be in my favor. Otherwise, I will not do anything. Whereas progression is the opposite of that. So I'm informative, I'm initiating, and I'm movement. Okay, so that puts me in the second row. I'm a starter. All right, let's work our way up. I'm abstract, future focused. Abstract means you are future focused. You're all about the what if, not really the what is. It's not about, hey, this person is XYZ. It's, hey, this person can be XYZ. It's all about what if, what can be done, future possibilities. It's all about entertaining things that you cannot tangibly see or feel or touch or see. It's all about, but then again, if you're an SE user and you're abstract, well, you're a lot more concrete in that sense. So let's not get that confused. So we'll get more into that as well down the road in this video, to where I'll explain that as well. So abstract, it's sci-fi, Star Wars, it's more theoretical. I'm all about big picture, not really about the what is. So that's basically what abstract means. And I'm pragmatic, bro. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I don't ask for permission. I will act, and I get in trouble all the time because, oh, James, you can't do that. And I'm like, oh, whoops, sorry, didn't know. LOL, don't care, because I'm pragmatic. Pragmatic, it breaks social rules all the time. Social rules are very arbitrary. Not that all social rules are bad, but we're going to test them and see if they're applicable. And if they are, then great, we'll go with it. And if not, then, well, social rule is just a social rule, not to be followed by a pragmatic. Because pragmatic is all about do what works. It's not really about do the right thing, which is the affiliative, and include everybody. Well, no, I'm independent, I'm pragmatic, and I like to do things how I like to do them. Interesting enough, going back to the SIs, there's only 2 SI users who are pragmatic, and that's the NTPs, INTP and ENTP. So keep that in mind. Most SI users, because we're duty-based, right? We're all about what we should do. Well, most people should do the right thing, and it's obligated by other people. Well, as an NTP and a pragmatic NTP SI user, I understand the consequences of actions, and I'm aware of what I should do, and I like people obligating me. But at the same time, it better make sense. Because I'm a TP, right? TPs are TI heroes and TI parents, STPs and NTPs. Good times. All right, so if you're abstract pragmatic, well, then you're automatically systematic. Check your work, right? If you're abstract systematic, then you're automatically pragmatic, right? And so we're in the third row, 1, 2, 3, we're in the third row of the type grid going up, and I'm abstract, pragmatic, systematic. Systematic basically means I put things in systems. It's all about systems over can be systems over people at times. It's all about following the system, creating a master system to follow, to accomplish the means. It's all about efficiency, systematic. Just do it the fastest, most efficient way. If that means that I take the L, then I take the L. If I have to stay back and work because one task has to be completed and someone's got to do it and everyone else can go home, but if I am easily by far the fastest sweeper, then I might just do it, because in the end the job will get done the fastest way possible, even if everyone else gets to go home and I have to do it. Well, it's the systematic way to where I might take that L because it's in the name of doing it the best way. Whereas an interest-based person is going to be like, yeah, I'm not taking that L, because it's all about the win-win, the win-loss. What are you getting out of this situation? What am I getting out of the situation? Systematic doesn't really care about who's getting what out of the situation. Systematic's all about doing it the best, fastest, most efficient way possible. Okay, so I'm abstract, pragmatic, systematic. That means I'm an NT, intellectual, right? Oh yeah, well, ENTPs are always talking about how they're not smart and how other people are smarter. They're all self-deprecating and making other people look good instead of themselves, because, you know, I'm not that smart. Hashtag Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Where it's like the smart people think they're dumb and the dumb people think they're smart. So be aware of that. If you're an ENTP, you're pretty freaking smart. The problem is, you're so concerned with your FE child about how people feel about the truth that you don't tell the truth, and you go along with other people's affiliative systems, and you allow yourself to get obligated to do the right thing, and even though you know it's incorrect and it's not true, and not cool at all. And so be aware of that, ENTPs, okay? You better live for truth. More on that later. Okay, so this is not a lecture for me to yell at ENTPs yet. That's coming. This is just to define what an ENTP is. Okay, so I gotta stay on track. All right, so wow, the scenery like completely just changed. Look at this. This is amazing, bro. This is fantastic, bro. Okay, so abstract, pragmatic, systematic, informative student movement. That's how you type people, straight up. Get ready for your test. Go to csjoseph.com/test, or I don't know, just Google it. And you will find his test, and it is the type grid test, basically. Because the type grid is the authority on typing people. And it's just come back so conclusive and so accurate every single time I've typed somebody that it proves itself right. Oh, James, you're just drinking your own Kool-Aid. You're just drinking the C.S. Joseph Kool-Aid. Yeah, well, when I measure it scientifically against like observable, repeatable things all the time, like I have to go by it, because the type grid is how you type people. Okay, and it's a very simple tool. And I've shared it with a lot of people, and they've used it, and they've improved their own lives and the lives of other people around them by understanding their fellow neighbors using the type grid. So I recommend it, and that's basically how you type yourself or someone else as an ENTP based on what I just described. So now let's go on to cognitive functions, all right? So cognitive functions are on an axis. So the first and the fourth functions are on axis with each other, and the second and third are on axis as well. Each function has an attitude, or each slot 1 through 8 has an attitude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it goes hero, parent, child, inferior, nemesis or ally, critic, trickster, and demon. Okay, so those are the default names of the functions. Okay, now you have cognitive axis, first and fourth, second and third, and then you also have cognitive orbit, where the first function is connected with the fifth function, the second is connected with the sixth, the third function is connected with the seventh, and so on, fourth with the eighth. You also have cognitive axis in the shadow, which would be the fifth with the eighth, and the sixth with the seventh function also are accessing each other. So functions come in package deals, basically, right? So the first and fourth is the first axis, and for the ENTP that is NE hero, extroverted intuition, NE, extroverted intuition, and SI, introverted sensing. And so the NE hero is on axis with the SI inferior. What does that mean? It means, well, let's define what the functions mean first. NE hero, or NE, extroverted intuition, is the function responsible with other people's fate, other people's passion, other people's desires, other people's willpower. It's all about consequences of actions. It's all about prescience, seeing the future, seeing future possibilities. It's all about giving options to other people. You can do this, or you can do that, or you can do this, you can do this. And it's all about giving options to people. You can do this, or this, or this, or this. It's all about you can. Any heroes always say the words you can. You can do this, you can do that. Cool. But what is it fueled by, right? Because the introverted functions are the source functions. They are where that comes from. How do you know that you can do this? Well, it comes from SI. SI is my own experience, my own past, my own sense of duty, loyalty, and should do. I should do this. SI users like to be obligated. And it's through experience. Why? Because an ENTP cares about his own experience. It's not about other people's experience. It's about his own experience. And I have done this, and I have done this, and therefore I know that you can do this, and you can do that, because I've done it before. That's basically how it works. Now, the more experience an ENTP has, the more ability he has to generate options and possibilities for somebody else. Right? That's how it works. And so the less experience, the younger the ENTP, the less ability he has in that NE hero of giving people a future and future possibilities. It's also all about what other people want. So you have two NE users in the same room. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Whatever you want. No, I'm good with whatever. Whatever you want. It's all about what other people want. ENTPs, it's not about what they want, because they don't have NI in their ego. We have NE. It's all about other people's wants and desires. So I talked about going to a baseball game. I don't really feel the passion or the emotion in a baseball game or in a stadium, but I love to be there, because if I'm surrounded by 40,000 people who are passionate and I just feed off that energy, then I can myself be passionate, and I can have a good experience, and I can be comfortable, and it can be a fantastic thing. Because ENTPs absorb and love people that are passionate and full of willpower and desire and know what they want, because we like people that know what they want. It's funny, because I used to, before I knew anything about Jungian analytical depth psychology, I would have my criteria for a potential girlfriend, and I would be like, yeah, she's got to be like dynamic. She's got to be like, really like, she knows what she wants, and she's decisive. Yeah, I love people that are decisive, right? Because I'm an NE hero. I love people that are decisive, because then I know what they want. They'll tell me what they want, and I can give them what they want. Fantastic, right? Well, cool. And so naturally, I gravitate towards those types of assertive and decisive people, right? As an ENTP, NE hero. That's what it's all about. And so SI is all about, NE is also about being desirable, right? Now, ENTPs want to be wanted. They want to be initiated with. So even though they're initiating, they're extroverts, you think in a sexual scenario, the ENTP should initiate with a potential lover, right? Well, not necessarily, because as an NE user, the ENTP wants to be wanted. And the quickest way to make someone feel wanted is to obligate them to do something with you. Hey, come with me and let's go XYZ, do this. Boom. Like, you just took away my choice. Good thing I don't really care about my choice, because I like to be obligated, right? SI user. And so, boom. You want me, and I'm an SI user. You just obligated me. I feel desired. Now I have a higher desire to go. So the ultimate pickup line to an ENTP is, hey, you should come to the movies with me tonight at 7 p.m. Hey, you should come do this picnic with me. When and where? Don't give them a choice. Just tell them. And if they have any source of attraction to you, That's going to make them feel wanted, and they're probably going to say yes. And then you as an SE user, if you're an SE user, don't have to worry about your rejection, because you're an SE user, and SE users worry about rejection. They're so afraid of rejection, right? And so, got some police action on the left side, some road work, so I got to slow down and pay a little more attention to the road right now while I tape this. So it's all good. It's all good. Got a nice little, what is this, a 3-wheeler in front of me? Cool. It's on a trailer. Nope, it's just a big motorcycle. I miss riding. Good times. Anyways. Okay, so, yeah, make it feel wanted. Okay, so ENTPs. What is the source of being wanted, right? Got to go back to the source function, the SI, right? So ENTP, anti-hero, wants to be wanted because they themselves don't really want. They don't really desire people. They like to be desired. Well, how do you make it, or why? Why should an ENTP be wanted, right? Because NE is all about making itself desirable, right? So what is the source of desirability for an ENTP? It is SI, because axis, right? Cognitive axis is always going on axis. They're always connected. What you do to one function affects the other. That's how it works. So, like for instance, I want you, ENTP, and because you want them, that's going to make them comfortable. Because SI really wants to be comfortable. It prioritizes being comfortable. So SI users, they care all about their comfort, their experience, right? And so, I'm wanted. Oh, they want me. Boom, insta comfort. That's called insta comfort. Because I'm wanted, I feel desired in this social situation or this one-on-one interaction. They want me, clearly they want to be around me. They want to talk to me. They want to listen to me. I feel comfortable. That's how you make it feel comfortable. You just express desire in them. Reassure them that you want them. That's how they feel comfortable. So easy. To make them feel uncomfortable, make them feel unwanted. It's easy as that. Okay, so cool. So that is how. So, but what is the source of desirability? Going back to the source of desirability. Why is an ENTP more desirable? Because the higher NE you have, in essence, the more desirable you are, in essence. But what fuels that? And what affects that? Well, SI, like I said. So SI is strength, right? It's experience, it's endurance, it's perseverance. And so through your SI experience as an ENTP, because SI users, they're all about taking hits. They're all about enduring and not giving up and just keep on keeping on. I had an ISFJ pastor at one time, and his message every single week was that. Keep on keeping on. Just endure. Just get through it. And be like me, because I'm an SI hero, and that's all I do is I just endure everything. And I get through everything, and I live to fight another day, and no one can stop me, or no one can inhibit me from not giving up, because I'm not going to give up, because I have the endurance, max endurance, because I'm an SI hero. Well, SI inferior, same thing, just not as capable as an ISFJ in terms of enduring. Although if they go aspirational, they absolutely can for certain amounts of time. Okay? So, an ENTP who has the scars of life on him and the pages of experience in his life is the most desirable, because he has the experience, he has the highest ability to give you the best options, right? That's how it works, cognitive axis, right? They're always going on that loop. And so the ENTP with experience, who's been burned by life, who's been rejected, who's had failures, because SI is all about failing and getting right back on your horse and trying again, taking the hits, because that's what strengthens you, right? That's the pain and suffering of life, because I'm a crusader, right? ENTPs are crusaders. They're all about enduring hardship and strengthening themselves. Want proof? Read David Goggins' book. Can't Hurt Me. Talks all about it. And so, yeah, the more experience the ENTP has, the more desirable he is. Why do you think young ENTPs can't get laid? Can't get a girlfriend? Can't do nothing, bro, because they don't got no experience. And the women see them and they're like, yeah, like you don't have any experience. And they can just smell it off of you. They can smell it, that you have no experience. as an ENTP, and then it's like, well, why do I want you, Mr. ENTP or Miss ENTP? You have no experience, and you haven't taken any of the hits of life. That's why older ENTPs are far more successful with the women, with the opposite sex, I should say. And yeah, good times. So that's a thing. So that is pretty much the cognitive axis of any SI. Now remember, you have the different attitudes of the functions, right? So the hero function's attitude is optimistic. It's doubly optimistic, and it's very optimistic. So when I said they're all about giving you options and choices, this is the function that you use the most. It's the function that you require no mental energy. In fact, it's energizing to use it. You don't lose energy using it. You're generating options, and the reason I'm in this van right now is probably the result of ENTPs generating options, telling me, oh man, you can live in a van, you can travel, you can do this, and you can do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this is all you have to do, and it's really easy, and anyone can do it, and blah, 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 because my SI inferior had never experienced it, and I was like, really? It's that easy? You can do that? And then I just did it. And so that's basically how I got involved in van life in the first place, is an ENTP, two ENTPs actually, were talking to me at the same time and doing the same thing, generating options for my future. Why? Because they're so optimistic about it. They like it. Walk up to an ENTP and ask them about your future. Ask them about the things that they can do, or that you can do. Ask the ENTP things you can do. They will talk your ear off. I've done it in the past, and I do it strategically now. But back before I knew the science, before I knew anything, before I knew what I was doing, I was just naturally doing it because I was still an ENTP. And so yeah, it's very optimistic, it's very good, it's very high capability in that aspect. And it's a lot of fun. Hero, right? Go around saving the world with it. Good times. It's very heroic, very proud and arrogant at times, talking about how I know what other people's intentions are. It's all about other people's intentions, right? NE. What other people want to do. It's not really about what people do, it's about what their intentions were to the ENP, to the ENTP, ENFP, with any hero, right? So it's very heroic. Okay, let's go down to, and then let's hit the attitude of the inferior. We're not going in order because we're going in the order of axis, right? NE, SI. And so that axis, cognitive axis, introvert, sensing, inferior, well, the fourth function is lower capability. Every function that goes down, you lower the capacity in that function. And the fourth function is the last function available in the ego, in your first side of the mind. More on that later. No, yeah. I'm not going to teach you all about the science because I'm literally doing what Chase does, and if you want to learn all about all the types and the four sides of the mind and all that good stuff, just check out his channel, because that's literally my source material on pretty much all of depth psychology. He taught me everything, and it's very simple. He does lectures going down every single type, every single aspect of the type grid. I'm just giving you a rundown of what it means to be an ENTP, obviously. So anyways, back to what I was saying. As an SI inferior, the inferior function is the insecurity. Everybody has a fourth function, inferior function, and it is the source of your insecurity. So whatever function is placed there is your insecurity. So for me, like I said, comfort, duty, loyalty, perseverance, endurance, my own experience, I'm insecure about all of that. If someone accuses me of not being loyal, if someone accuses me of not being dutiful, of not doing what I should do, it's very sensitive, and I will get mad very quickly. Because the fastest way to make someone angry and hate you and want to destroy you is by attacking their inferior function. So I had that experience one time with an ENTJ, and she kept on telling me that I was going to betray her and I was not going to be loyal to her because everyone else was not loyal to her with her any critic, good times. And it just was like, really? Thank you very much. Well, I'm not loyal to her. I don't even think highly of her at this point. But she can do her life. It's all good. I don't think ill will towards her by any stretch. And that was not the reason we stopped talking, but that's just an example of somebody attacking my inferior without really even realizing, because there was a critic talking, right? Any critic. And so, good times. But anyways, that's an example of someone criticizing my inferior function, or just taking away my comfort. Yeah, jump on me when I'm comfortable on the couch. I will rage immediately. Immediately. I will rage. Rip my blanket off when I'm sleeping. Take my comfort away. Yeah. I will get up very fast. Sometimes if I'm being super lazy and I just can't get out of bed, I just have to be forced. And do I recommend doing that method? Maybe. Because I might need that sometimes. If I'm just being depraved and laying in bed, jump on me and get me out of bed so I can get my day started. I think at this point, I will still probably rage. Yep, I will probably rage, but it's all good. After the rage is over, I will calm down and I'll be cool. I'll be like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Took away my comfort, but my comfort's back, so it's all good. Anytime your comfort as an ENTP is taken away, they are thinking actively about how to regain that comfort. That's like all they think about. And it's like, I can't function at work, I can't do this or whatever. I don't care. I don't care about anything. I just care about getting my comfort back. If I'm too cold, I'm not going to work efficiently. I don't care. Just get me some gloves and a hat or get me out of the cold or whatever. It's all about an ENTP's comfort. It is ENTPs and their comfort, man. And that's why they think they're introverts, because you can be in a social situation where you don't know anybody and it's uncomfortable because like, oh, I don't know if I feel wanted right now because, well, I don't know anyone. No one's initiating with me, so I don't feel comfortable. And so the ENTP will just get really mega uncomfortable and they will just shrivel up into a little ball and go into their ISFJ subconscious and be super background until someone initiates with me and makes me feel wanted and desired and comfortable. Right. So it's all about an ENTP's comfort. Same thing with an ENFP. The fourth function is the function you protect the most. It's your infant. It's the infant of your ego. And your parent and your hero want to protect the infant at all costs. So, also I don't like talking about my experience. I don't like, the question I've always hated is, how was your weekend? What'd you do? Nigga, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How was my weekend? SI inferior, I feel like no one cares about my experience. And so it's like, do you actually care, or are you just asking to be cordial? Because if you're asking to be cordial, I'm just going to say, oh yeah, that was good. And then I'm just going to be like, I'm going to judge you for being shallow, right? And then if you're being sincere and genuine, well, I hope we have a lot of time, because then we can talk about my experience and we can get real and in-depth. Because ENTPs, all they care about is being real and being in-depth and being sincere, right? Because sincerity, virtue, it's all about being sincere and telling the truth and just being genuine and being honest, right? Hashtag thirsty. So yeah, good times. ENTP, comfort. My comfort was taken away because hashtag I needed water for my throat. So I prioritized my comfort over your comfort and your experience, because I don't know if it was a good experience for you to watch me drink that water, but it sure was a good experience for me to drink that water. So I prioritized my experience over yours. Well, if you're an extrovert sensor, it's the exact opposite, and you're gonna make sure that the other people are getting the better experience, and you're at your experience's expense. That's the difference between being an SE and an SI user. Little quick example of that. So, anyways, so that is the attitude of the inferior function. It's insecurity, and then, so an ENTP, they're also very afraid of trying new things. So ENTPs get stuck in comfort rut, basically. It's the biggest issue and gripe I have with fellow ENTPs, and biggest gripe and issue I have with myself is I get stuck in my comfort, and it's partly why I'm literally living in a van, because you can't get too comfortable in a van. Also, you can always move, and you always have to be moving. You can't just get settled in. I always have to go to the gym to shower at night, and then I'm at the gym, so I got to work out, and that kind of takes me out of my comfort. But I know it's for better gain and makes me stronger, right? Gives me more experience, makes me literally physically stronger, which makes me feel better, which makes me more comfortable because I feel better, because I feel healthier, because I feel active, because I feel strong, physically strong. See how that works? Do the meaningful, not the expedient, right? So that is SI inferior comfort. I can go more in depth into that, but I think you got a clear picture of what that is. So like I said, cognitive axis, introvert sensing. Once you get over your comfort, that's the thing with ENTPs. They have to get over their comfort and try new things, but they're insecure about doing new things. So you can either have an ENTP who is afraid of trying new things and work the same worthless job, mindless job for 30 years, and then that's what they do because they're comfortable at it, or they can, do different things and pursue different passions and try things they haven't done before and experience new things and go different places they've never been and learn new skills, and it all sucks. It all sucks. I hate learning. Straight up, I hate learning. Can you accept that I hate learning as an ENTP? Because I hate learning. Because of TE Critic and SC Demon. I don't want to learn. I don't want to watch. I just want to play video games. I just want to eat Doritos. So that's the struggle of being an ENTP, and most ENTPs fall victim to that struggle. And this society that we live in enables that behavior, because it's like you don't have any responsibility. You don't have any duty. You don't have any duty to be great, to do new things. Nah, be comfortable, love yourself, be fat, be this, be that. It's all good. Well, that's an issue. It's a serious issue, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I don't respect ENTPs that can't try new things. I don't respect myself when I can't try new things, because there are times when I get stuck in my comfort zone. This is a thing that ENTPs have to fight every single day. And that's the thing, is you don't just conquer your SI inferior and then you're good. Nah, bro. David Goggins, man has to conquer his inferior. He has to conquer his insecurity. He has to conquer his comfort every single day. Okay? That's a thing. And it sucks. It straight up sucks. But then again, everyone's got their own struggles. Everyone's got their own problems. Everyone's got their own inferior to deal with. And this is just the ENTP struggle. Everyone's got theirs. No type is better than the other. And I'm probably going to say that a lot on this channel, but it's true. No type is better than the other. There's a reason for everyone. And Chase just said in one of his videos, he said, if one type ceases to exist, he thinks that society would cease to exist. It would be the downfall of society. And I believe him. I agree with him. God created all the types for a purpose, and everything balances out. He placed more ISFJs in the world than ENTPs for a reason. He placed, the proportions, the types, the functions, everything. It's perfect. And when you really analyze the type grid and you really analyze people and society and how things work and the sustainability and survivability of society and culture and humans, the race of humans, it's absolutely astounding. It's beyond words, honestly. And this scenery is beyond words. Look at this. Wow, is this the desert? Is that what the desert looks like? I don't know. It doesn't look too deserty, but it looks pretty awesome. Like something I haven't seen before, so that's fantastic. Like, pretty cool stuff. So that's any hero and SI inferior of the ENTP. Wow, that took a long time to explain, and that's just the first part. See how in-depth psychology is? That's why one session won't do it. I really encourage people to go on CS Josephs and just learn the type grid. If you learn the type grid, learn the interaction styles, the functions, the attitudes, and the temperaments, you're pretty much good to go. You can take that and just observe people the rest of your life, and everything else will make sense and click, and boom, 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 boom. Super easy, super fun, and you'll just have better relationships as a result of it. It's pretty good. All right, so let's talk about the parent and the child, right? So the parent is responsible, right? It's the person's sense of responsibility. It's the person's sense of maturity once the parent function really gets developed and really gets going. So my parent function is TI. It's truth versus false. It is logic, logos. It's all about the true false. It's all about if this then that. It's just a processor, bro. So TI, all it is just a processor. If this, then that. So we'll take in some TE information, right? Give me information. Suck it all in my brain. Information. All right, now TI goes to work. And it looks at, if this is true, then this has to be true. If that is true, then this has to be true. If this is false, then this has to be true. And if this is false, then this has to be false. It's all it is if-then analysis. That's all TI is. And it's all about what I think. So TI users, they don't care about what you think. They care about what they think. ENTP, no different. I care about what I think. Ask me what I think, I will tell you what I think. Well, TE user doesn't care about what they think. They care about how they feel. So they're feelers, right? They care about what other people think. Okay? So as an ENTP, you care about what you think. And ENTPs walk around thinking that everyone else is stupid and that they are smart, basically. Because TE Critic, right? Cognitive Orbit. The TI, it's all about I'm responsible for what I think. TE Critic is all about what other people think, and Critic, it's literally critical about whatever that function associates with. And so the ENTP says I'm smart and everyone else is stupid. Well, ENTPs, you're all hypocrites. So I used to struggle with that way of thinking too, where I thought everyone else was stupid. Still struggle with that today, but at the same time, I still recognize that I have to be willing to listen to other people and what they think, because 12 rules for life, right? Talk to people like they actually might know something that you don't. Like I said, I hate learning. ENTPs hate learning. Sorry. I know all the ENTPs are going to be like, what? What do you mean? I love learning. Yeah, you do, but put an INTJ and an ENTP in the same room and see who loves learning more. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, well, James, how do you know all this stuff? I mean, what do you mean you hate learning? Well, I've had to program myself to love learning, because you know what I love more than learning? 2K, my park, my career. So, anyways, because of TE, low TE, right? I don't want to research. I don't want to listen to what other people think. I don't care. It's a double negative function, right? So that's why that is, all right? So TI parent, I'm responsible for what I think. So ENTPs are very confident in what they think. Always ask them what they think. They'll tell you. They have no problem talking about what they think. But it's also in a more pessimistic function. The second and the fourth are more pessimistic functions, whereas the first and the third function are optimistic. And so the TI parent is kind of pessimistic about what it thinks. And so it's like, so they'll tell you more negative thoughts. If you've seen my YouTube channel, I don't have very optimistic thoughts, right? It's all about telling the cold, hard truth. It's cold and hard. It's pessimistic. And it's not really optimistic truth, if you know what I mean. So that's the difference between that optimistic versus pessimistic. It comes off very more pessimistic, literally. And it's good times. So the INTP has TI hero. They're optimistic with their thinking. They're not going to cut you down as hard as the ENTP is going to with that pessimistic TI. So, very confident with what I think, but it's also on axis with the FE, right? So, it's all about what I think and what other people feel. Notice the pattern? FE, other people's feelings. I care about what other people feel. TI, introverted thinking. It's all about what I think. So, that's the axis. Other people feel, I think. So I like it when people have emotional reactions to what I think. And a lot of times what the emotional reaction that I want is gratitude. That's the emotion that I love the most, is when other people say, wow, James, I really value what you think. Thank you for sharing that with me, right? That's what a TI-FE user wants. Why? Because FE is all about helping people. It's all about giving to people. It's very helpful. Always ask an ENTP for help. They will help you. They love helping people. And then express gratitude to them. That's all they need in return. Straight up. It's pretty fantastic. So long as they don't have strings attached and they're not giving to get, which they're susceptible to do, as all crusaders are. So be aware of that. So it's all about, let me tell you what I think so that I can help you, basically. ENTPs have this problem where they just invite themselves into other people's lives that they don't even know, and they just want to tell them the truth so that they can help them. But that person receives it as like, a freak, bro? You don't even know me. Why are you talking to me like that? You think you can teach me something? Yeah, it's a problem. Well, it's the pragmatic ENTP approach. Opposite of the FJ approach, which is all about, let me help you, let me give you this bread, and then maybe you'll listen to me so that I can help you that way. Two different approaches. There's a need for both. God made them both, so there you go. Anywho, need to get gas pretty soon. $2.98. Looks like I'm in a cheaper gas state, so I think I'll fill up now because I don't want to get screwed over like I did in California with that $3.49 gas, if you know what I mean. Sheesh. Wow, it's like really beautiful out here. It's like pretty plain and deserty kind of looking, I guess. Kind of dead, brown, but it's absolutely beautiful in my opinion. Okay, anyways. So, it's all about helping people. It's all about telling the truth. But the ENTP prioritizes the truth over how you feel, right? So I get accused all the time of being cruel and heartless and bad and mean, and if you've seen my other videos, you might think that about me. But to say that an ENTP doesn't care about you and that they're just mean, well, that's very hurtful to them. It's called child abuse, because FE child definitely cares about how people feel. And it's balloons and candy, right? Child functions all balloons and candy for other people. Extroverted child functions balloons and candy for other people. Introverted child functions balloons and candy for themselves. And so, balloons and candy for everybody. ENTPs can indiscriminately help everybody that asks, to the point where they accept helping other people way more than they can even have the capability to. And they help other people as opposed to themselves. They prioritize other people's needs over themselves. And that's why ENTPs are super mega beta and super mega feminine, because, well, they prioritize other needs of other people over themselves, because their FE is higher than their FI trickster, right? FI trickster, I'll get to myself. I'll help myself when I get around to it. But right now, we need to help you. That's the ENTP's mindset. And I actually definitely take advantage of it when I'm around ENTPs, because I am aware of that. I have no problem asking an ENTP for help, because I know that they want to help other people. So I don't feel bad about it. Whereas if I'm talking to an FI user, I'm going to be very more careful about asking them for help. Usually they're asking me for help. I help them because I'm an FE user, but I'll word it a lot different. I will not directly ask an FI user really for help, because I know that they don't get off to helping other people like I do as an FE user. Not because they're worse or anything, blah, 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 but because they have different cognitive priorities. So FE child, it's all balloons and candy, and it's very immature. So ENTPs will try and help you, but a lot of times they'll make a mistake. It's that innocent child mistake of whoopsies, and they mess up, and then they end up hurting you. And then if you respond negatively, emotionally negatively to that, it's going to be very hurtful to the ENTP, because they were just trying to help. A lot of ENTPs just mess up because of SE Demon, and they just mess everything up. And it's not that they're trying to, obviously, but then if you explode on them, it's going to make them very very angry in the moments. Child abuse, very hurtful. So please don't do that. LOL. Good times. A lot of times my ESFP mom would rage if I spilled coffee or hot cocoa on the counter, and it's just like, because SE rage, right? SE hero, FI parent rage, ESFPs rage more than anyone, right? In my experience. But at the same time, because I'm so low FI, yeah, I'll feel bad and I'll feel like really mad, like, oh, I'm never helping you again, but then I'll forget about it the next day, and then I'm helping you the next day, and it's all good, like, who cares? That's the way of the FI trickster. Good times. Well, the ENTP, I'll speak with the ENTP on that one, because ESTPs, they're a little bit different, even though they have FE child and FI trickster are the same. So, dang, that is cool. That's cool. Alright, so TI parent, it's all about responsibility, and FE child. So I tell you what I think. I don't care about what you think. Just tell me how you feel as a result of what I thought. That's how you talk to an ENTP. You tell them what you feel, you don't tell them what you think. Although an ENTP needs to hear what you think, because they need to engage in wisdom, in learning to listen to what you think, and just be right. When you tell an ENTP what you think, be right. That will help. Because if they find out that you're telling them what you think and you're completely wrong, and if they just debunk you, they're going to lose respect for you, and they're going to be less likely to listen to you in the future. So just make sure you're right and you're not living your life according to stupid societal affiliative norms that don't make any sense. And if you try enforcing that on an ENTP, well, they're going to hate you. They're just going to put you in stupid zone. They're going to put you in stupid zone timeout. And good luck getting out of timeout when they stupid zoned you. As that goes for all other TPs. Just make sure it makes sense. Have data, have statistics to back it up. Have concrete proof of why they are wrong and they need to upgrade their thinking. And they will. That's the beauty of it. An ENTP confronted with truth, to where it's like, okay, you got me. They're going to act on it right away. That's one of the greatest strengths of the ENTP. Yikes. My engine light just came on. And a couple other lights came on. Yikes. That's not cool. Okay, so anyways. Good times. Hey, fuck. So, yeah. ENTP, all about what they think, all about what you feel, good times, alright. So that would be the second and the third functions, and the second cognitive axis of ENTP. Got the NE, TI. Always tell them what you want, listen to what they think, express gratitude and tell them how you feel, and make them comfortable. And that's how you take care of the ENTP's ego. And that's what it means to be an ENTP, is that's your needs, your ego's needs, basically. Let's go into the shadow. NI nemesis, NI nemesis is all about worry. The nemesis function is the worry function. It's worry. So I worry about my future, and the way to get over the worry is to twist my fate, my future, in with everybody else's. So my whole life, I haven't really stressed, right? I've had that worry about my future, but the way I got over it is through cognitive orbit, is I twist my fate in with everybody else's, and if everybody goes down, well, I'll go down. We'll all go down together. It's all good. And on the contrary, like if people are giving in the army, they used to give like stressful speeches like, oh no, we're not going to be able to do this, we don't got time for this, and we got to do this and 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 this overwhelming like task list. And I'd be like, okay, everybody's going to be fine. Like, we always end up doing whatever, and it's going to be no different this time, and everyone's going to get through it, and I'm just going to get through it with everybody, because hashtag I'm putting my fate in with everybody else's. That's how it works. Good times. So cool. And I nemesis all worried about their future. I don't like to talk about my past because I'm insecure about my past, and I don't like to talk about my future because it's in my shadow It's in my shadow. I'd rather talk about your future. But yeah, it's like I'm worried about my future. Thankfully, with Jimmy's journey, I still don't know my future. I just know I have a future doing things. That's about it. Like, I don't have specific plans or outcomes for my future. It's all good, because I'm just going to have an experience, and then I'm going to find out, because it's all about my experience, not my future. It's all about my past, not my future, because I'm an SI user, right? And so, but it's good. It's good. And so, yeah, I twisted my future with others. It's all about my fate, worried about my own fate, worried about any little thing that happens on my body. It's like, oh no, am I gonna die? Is this gonna like turn into something like crazy? It's worryful, but it's not too big of an issue with me. I haven't really struggled with that too much. I've always just done what I said, twisted my fate with everyone's, and good to go. All right, let's talk about the demon. Let's keep on with the axis. So my SE demon is on axis with my NI nemesis, right? SE is everything. It's all about what other people are doing. It's all about other people's past, other people's performance, other people's this and that. And it's very, very, very critical, because the demon, I'm very pessimistic about it. It's like a twisted nature about what other people are doing. Never tell an ENTP like stories about your past and informative long stories about what you did and this and that. If it's not productive, if it's not like teaching them a lesson that they want to know because they didn't ask, you're probably making them like secretly hate you. Like, ENTPs don't want to talk about your past. Don't talk about your past to an ENTP. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because it's going to be just a waste of breath. They're going to be effy child, right? They're going to be nice. They're going to be like, yeah, yeah. Inside, they're going to be like, dude, shut the freak up. I don't care. I don't care. Don't talk about your past. Do not talk about your past to an ENTP. Just don't do it. because like an ENTP through cognitive orbit, right? They see, like I talked about in one of my videos, it's like I see really obese people, really fat people. Come on, man, let's be pragmatic. Let's say what they are. And I see really fat people, and it's like I'm so pessimistic about what I see, about your performance, about your experience. And then it's like my NI nemesis through cognitive orbit worries about my own future. It worries like, oh no, am I gonna end up like that? Well, if I do what you're doing, then I'm gonna end up like you, right? Because SENI, cognitive axis, is all about seeing what other people are doing so that they know what they want. But because it's in my shadow as an SE demon and an NI nemesis, it's more of a pessimistic outlook on that. I see what you want, and it just makes me like super worried about my future. It's not like, oh, tell me what you're doing so that I know what I want to do, because that's what an SENI ego person would do. They learn from other people's experience, and then they know what they want for themselves. Well, it's the opposite for me. I don't want to see what you're doing, and I don't care about what I want. That's the natural cognitive attitude of the ENTP, basically. And then the last cognitive axis that we'll talk about is the critic and the trickster. And so the critic is critical of everything. And so because it's extroverted thinking, it's what other people are thinking. I'm very critical about what other people think. Very critical about statistics, data, surveys, all that good stuff. I don't care about your data. Like, I see how arbitrary and trivial data and the news and just what other people are thinking and talking about. I see how arbitrary and how ridiculous so much of it is that it's like, yeah, I'm not going to listen. So ENTPs get a reputation for not listening to anybody. And yeah, it's true. They don't listen to what other people think, at least. Listen about how you feel, but always tell them what you feel, but nah, don't tell them what you think. If you're trying to, like, you know, have a good relationship with them, or depends on the type of relationship you have with them, definitely. So that's the thing. At the gas station now, really thirsty, really gotta pee, gotta check my oil. SE demon, like I'm an SE demon. I don't know what to do when my check engine light comes on because I don't have experience working on cars. And so, yeah, good times. Well, we'll figure it out. And so, yeah, okay, so the critic function is very critical, and because it's an extroverted function, it's an extroverted critic, and so it's very critical about what other people think. That's why we're very argumentative, because TI parent, T critic, right? Oh, you think that? Well, that's stupid. Let me tell you what I think, and let me tell you what's actually right. That's how ENTPs go about it. Not saying that that's proper or right or anything, it's just how they go about it, so good times. And so you have that, and then but then that's on the axis with the trickster, and that's the FI trickster. So other people, TE-FI users, they're all about, what do you think? And then what you think has an effect on how they feel, right? So if you tell them, oh, I think really terrible of you and blah, 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 you suck, then they're gonna feel really bad. Well, an ENTP doesn't care about what you think or how they feel. And so the ENTP is gonna be very emotionless, right? Because FI trickster, it's how you feel, right? How I feel. I don't have feelings. Don't ask me how I feel, because I don't know. Like, I don't know. James, how do you feel? Bro, I don't know. Like, it's trickster, because you think you have awareness of it, but then you don't. I used to, let's see. I used to really try to feel stuff. Whenever I was like having a really fun event or experience or something, I'd be like, okay, feelings, come on, check on, turn on. This is awesome, right? And then I'd just be like sitting there apathetically. Like, oh, I guess it's not that cool or whatever. It's because, like, I don't know, dude, FI trickster, man. Like, I don't really feel, because that's like your unawareness function. You're just completely oblivious in the trickster function. And so FI, feelings, morals, I'm not moral. I don't have morals. There's no good or bad. Like, I can argue true, false all day, but like good and bad, like good and bad's not even real to me. It's like that. Whereas an FI user is gonna, good and bad, it's all about the good and bad, and it's not really about the true, false. Well, to me, it's all about what's true and false. Like, T user is gonna say, oh, if everyone thinks a certain way, well then it must be true. If everyone thought the world was flat, then it doesn't really matter if it was or not. Like, that's what everyone thought, so that's the perception, so that's what we're going with. Whereas the TI user is like, yeah, dude, if the world was round, Even if everyone thought it was flat, it was still round, and you still have to base truth on what's true, not what other people think. And so that's the difference, right? And so it's all about truth. It's all about true, false, not about good and bad, because TI, not FI, right? And so an ENTP is all about the true, false, and don't ever ask an ENTP what they feel. Like, you're not going to get a good answer unless a bad answer is what you want, or if you want them to say, oh, I don't know, because then you don't have to care, because you might be an FI user anyways and you don't care how they feel. You're just trying to be nice, but you don't realize through cognitive projection that they don't actually care about how they feel. So you don't have to be nice and ask them how they feel anyways, but you're projecting that because, oh, I'm an FI user and I want him to ask me how I feel, so I'm going to ask him, because #manipulation, right? Yeah, well, people accuse me of learning this stuff so I can manipulate and social engineer and blah, 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 but they don't realize they're doing it in real time, all the time, every time they're talking to somebody. So something to be aware of. And yeah, so critical about what other people think, don't know how they feel. That's an ENTP. Ask them, tell them what they want, tell them what you want, listen to what they think, show them appreciation, show them gratitude, tell them how they feel, and make them comfortable, ask about their experience, let them tell you their stories. Do not talk about their future. Don't ask them what they want. They don't know what they want. Do not tell them what you think. If you do, make sure it's right. They will like it if you're right, by the way. So don't not tell them what you think, just be right. Make sure it's logically sound, well thought out. Otherwise, they're gonna really criticize you, or at least think negatively of you. They might not say it because they're trying to be nice if you're a child. Don't ask them how they feel. Don't ask them what's good and bad. Just ask them about true and false. And do not engage in storytelling to an ENTP. Don't be informative. We like direct people. We like decisive, direct people. Don't talk about your past, your experience. We don't care. We don't want to know. It's just a negative charge. It's not that your experience is irrelevant. It's just, to an SE demon, their mind just can't handle your experience, kind of. And you have your own demons, so before you start judging an ENTP for not wanting to listen to your stories, well, just understand that if you're a TE demon, you don't want to listen to their thoughts. You don't want to listen to anyone's thoughts, and it's all about what you think. And if you're an NE demon, you take away people's freedom of choice, and you don't even realize it. And it's all about what you want. It's not about what other people want. And everyone's got their demon, bro. And so don't judge an ENTP for having a demon. It's just that expert sensing is like the most pronounced function, basically, because it's expert sensing. It's reality. It's the physical, right? ENTPs hate reality. They hate the physical. They hate it all. They want to burn reality to the ground. And they do a lot of things to cause people to have a bad experience, because a lot of times in their mind they think, oh, my comfort's been taken away, so I'm going to take everyone's comfort away, which is not correct. It's not right by any chance, but that's just what's going on in their mind. It's the cognitive orbit, right? And so, yeah, that's what's going on in the ENTP's brain. Good times. ENTPs they just want to be genuine. They just want to be real. They just want to talk about real life. Funny how they want to talk about real life, even though they hate reality, because they hate like your superficial, stupid little storytelling reality. They hate that. They want to talk about what's the big picture, what's really going on in life, what are the future implications going on. And like I said, ENTPs aren't any righter than anybody else, but that is how you understand an ENTP. They also want to be understood so desperately. Oh my word, ENTPs. But like I said, I'll save my criticisms of ENTPs for a later episode. This is just to explain what an ENTP is, their strengths, their weaknesses, what they're good at, what they suck at, and there's so much more to it. Check out Chase. He's got a whole Confessions of an ENTP playlist on his YouTube, which will just get really in depth on a lot of different topics pertaining specifically to ENTPs. A lot of misinformation about ENTPs, a lot of misunderstandings about ENTPs, and I just want to, help spread the truth, right, about ENTPs, or at least what I perceive as true. Because at the same time, I think this is true, but what if, tomorrow comes and someone tells me something and I'm like, oh my word, I was totally wrong. It could happen. So, anywho, that is what an ENTP is in a nutshell. And that's all I got for this episode. Deuces. If you want to learn how to use the type grid, if you want to learn about what type you are, you're not sure about what your type you are, you want to get typed and you don't really know how the type grid works, you can comment, you can hit me up, and we can set something up to hashtag figure that out. If you're an ENTP, if I've ever told you you're an ENTP and you didn't know what I meant, and you have follow-up questions, anything like that, or any ENTP content questions, anything, leave it in the comments. Let's discuss by all means. All right. Peace.